So what do we have here? We've got Mirabelle gets up to mischief. Half witch, half fairy, totally naughty. Sounds a bit like Riri. 5 reasons why you love Mirabelle. Mirabelle is magical and mischievous. She's full of witchy ideas. She loves making potions with her traveling potion kit. Mirabelle loves sprinkling a sparkle of mischief wherever she goes. She's friendly and fun. If you could do magic, what spell would you cast? To make the world fair for everyone, said Elise. I would conjure up huge storms, said Iris. Take Chairman's shoe to make furniture smash, said Alex. I would fly in the sky like a fairy, Hazel. A spell to make myself live forever, Eben. Actually, is it Eben or Eben? I'm not sure. That's a guy's name, like Eben Etzebeth, right? The rugby player. Anyway, to make the whole world glittery and starry. Ariane. Dear reader, I'm delighted to introduce you to, magical drum roll please, Mirabelle star spell. She's half witch, half fairy, totally naughty. Mirabelle lives with her mum, who is a witch, her dad, who is a fairy, and her brother Wilbur. I've heard of a cat named that before. She loves casting witches' spells by the light of the moon, just as much as she likes nature and fairy magic. In this story, Mirabelle is absolutely forbidden to bring her witch's wand and cauldron to the annual fairy get-together. But she doesn't always like doing as she's told. In fact, Mirabelle quite enjoys sprinkling a sparkle of mischief wherever she goes. Besides, if she did just a teeny tiny bit of witch magic, what could possibly go wrong? Mirabelle's family is special. And for any Isadora Moon fans out there, you might even know her already because Mirabelle is Isadora Moon's cousin. Isadora and Mirabelle have had adventures before this, but this is the first time that Mirabelle will star in her own story. So make yourself a cup of tea or a cup of hot chocolate, settle down and enjoy. Mirabelle gets up to mischief. Happy reading, Claire Whitston. All right, let's do it. I'm excited. Family tree. My mom, Seraphina Starspell. My brother, Wilbur Starspell. My dad, Alvin Starspell. Violet. And me, Mirabelle Starspell. Let's do it. I'm so excited. Chapter 1. No witchy magic, said Dad, wagging his finger at me like this. It was Saturday morning, and we were all in the dining room together having breakfast. Me, my mum, my dad, and my brother Wilbur. Remember, said Dad, this is a fairy celebration, the most important one in the whole year. I don't want to see any of you witchy things at the midsummer dance tonight. No cauldrons, no potion bottles, no pointy witch or wizard hats. No cauldrons, I gasped. But I always take my traveling potion kit with me wherever I go. I know, said Dad, and it always seems to cause a lot of mischief. Mischief? I said, trying to look surprised. She doesn't look that surprised. Yes, said Dad, and I don't want any naughtiness at the Midsummer's Ball this year. You must embrace your fairy side for the night. Why don't you dust off your fairy wand? I never see you using it. That's because it's rubbish, I complained. It only does boring magic. Dad raised his eyebrows at me, and his fairy wings fluttered in annoyance. I had almost said good magic, but I stopped myself just in time. Dad's right, chipped in Mum. You and Wilbur must embrace your fairy side for the night. She smiled at us with her dark purple lips. You are both half fairy after all, Wilbur sighed. He hates being reminded that he is half fairy. He finds it embarrassing and would prefer to be full wizard. I don't mind so much. It can be useful for getting out of trouble. People never expect fairies to be so naughty. We will do all our best to be as fairy as possible for Dad, said Mum, and I stared at her in surprise. Mum is a full-blown witch, and I could never imagine her trying to be a fairy. She loves whisking around on her broomstick and cackling and making potions. Sometimes she can even be quite mischievous as well. That's settled then, said Dad. He took a sip of his flower nectar tea and looked at us all happily over the rim of the mug. Mum crunched down on her spider-sprinkled toast. I looked back at them and thought about how happy it would make Dad if Wilbur, Mum, and I embraced our fairy sides for the night. I decided that I would try my absolute best to be good. No potions, no cauldrons, and no pointed hats. That was the end of chapter 1.